Hello everyone, it is Marc Berman from TV Media Insights. It is Thursday, June 28th. I would like to welcome you back to our daily videocast, and sadly, I am beginning today with the news of the passing of a classic TV star. Don Grady, who played Robbie Douglas on My Three Sons, passed away yesterday, apparently after a long battle with cancer. He was only 68 years old. Now, if you were a fan of My Three Sons like I was, and I was a huge fan, you remember Don Grady as Robbie, the oldest of the three Douglas sons. It was Robbie, Chip, and Ernie. However, when My Three Sons began in 1960 on ABC, Tim Considine was the oldest brother. He was Mike. And Robbie was in the middle, Chip was the youngest. When the series moved to CBS in 1965, and it stayed on the air another 7 seasons, Tim Considine exited. Don Grady was the oldest, and suddenly Little Orphan Ernie was adopted by the Douglases. Now, Don Grady, actually, his younger sister was Lainey O'Grady from 80s Enough. She played Mary, and she passed away at a very young age. In 2001, I believe she was only 47 years old. So Don Grady, rest in peace. And while we're talking about classic television, let's go back to 1951. On this day, in 1951, was the series debut of sitcom Amos and Andy. That was based on the classic radio show, and it only aired on CBS for 2 seasons, not because it wasn't popular, but apparently groups like the NAACP were very upset the way African-American characters were depicted, and due to the controversy, CBS canceled it. So Amos and Andy debuted on this day 61 years ago. That's a long time. Let's go to current television. We'll begin with Ann Curry on the Today Show. Now, there's been news for weeks that she has been exiting the Today Show. She made it official today. She is leaving, but do not shed any tears for Ann Curry. She is staying with the network. She will have apparently a crew of 7 people. She will do special reports and segments on shows like Dateline, Rock Center with Brian Williams, the NBC Nightly News, and the Today Show, and she will fill in as guest anchor when need be on those shows. In terms of who will be sitting in her chair opposite Matt Lauer, logically it is Savannah Guthrie. They have not made it official yet, but that will be coming at any moment now. So Ann Curry is officially exiting the Today Show. Now let's go to the world of cable. If you are a fan of the recent TBS sitcom network, the cable network has issued a 2nd season renewal. They have ordered 10 new half-hour episodes for 2013, and apparently Men at Work ranks in the top 5 of all new shows on cable this year among adults 18 to 49. Now, I've seen the pilot. I haven't seen any subsequent episodes, so I would like to catch up with it myself. Moving over to Lifetime, they have announced a new made-for movie called The Carlina White Story, actually abducted The Carlina White Story. It's based on the true story of a young girl who was kidnapped as a baby from a New York hospital, and 23 years later she suddenly reunites with her parents, biological parents. I admire Lifetime for staying in the made-for-movie business. If you don't know this already, if you ever check out any of their movies and you watch for literally a minute, you are hooked for 2 hours. Once upon a time, the made-for movies was very prevalent on the broadcast networks. They no longer are, of course, but they remain popular on Lifetime, and I am glad they're still in that business. So congratulations to them. I have the top 20 most watched shows on basic cable for Tuesday, June 26th. The #1 option was Rizzoli and Isles on TNT. 5.4 million viewers. Its lead out, Franklin and Bash, finished 5th overall with 3.6 million, which held 66% of the lead-in. Not great, not terrible. It's in the middle. I would say Franklin and Bash is on the fence for a renewal for a 3rd season. Now, we had a series premiere on cable on Tuesday. It was Craft Wars on TLC, hosted by Tori Spelling. It's a new reality competition. Did not do very well. 988,000 viewers. And speaking of not doing well, Bristol Palin, Life's a Trip on Lifetime, the new docuseries, aired its 3rd and 4th episodes this past Tuesday, and the most watched of the 2 was 436,000 viewers. So that is overall not a very good number. Actually, 426,000. I was wrong about that. Coming up on the air tonight is the highly promoted Charlie Sheen sitcom Anger Management. It's debuting on FX. It will also air in first-run syndication. I think curiosity will lead people to sample it. I do not see this show winning Emmy Awards, but I think it will do relatively well. It leads into the new series of Louie. The deal in syndication is they've ordered 10 episodes, and if it does well enough, they're going to order another 90, which will keep Charlie employed for the next 4 years, and I think it will do well enough to get that order. So it is debuting tonight on FX at 10 o'clock, Anger Management with Charlie Sheen, who certainly had an anger management problem, which is why he got this show. And it's based on the movie, of course, of the same name. On the broadcast networks, if you're a fan of Wipeout, the summer season begins tonight at 9 o'clock. I think the bloom was off the rose with that show now that ABC runs it a lot in the regular traditional season. I think it did better when it was just summer only. That leads into Rookie Blue and Out of Duets. We have original programming on NBC, Saving Hope, the Canadian medical drama at 9 o'clock, which nobody's watching, leading into Rock Center with Brian Williams, which very few people are watching. I actually watched a little of it last week. There was a segment that was so depressing, I could not get through it. And ultimately, we have original episodes on Fox of Take Me Out and The Choice, and Breaking Point on the CW, which is not breaking any rating records. And that is our daily videocast from TV Media Insights for this 28th day in June. I want to thank you very much for joining me, and I will be back with more news about my favorite medium, television, tomorrow. Signing off, Marc Berman.